We're starting this off with a bit of a laugh, this one. But listen, folks, we're on episode 156. Thank you for joining us on another episode of The Flixters. This is hopefully going to be a really funny one for you because we're going to be speaking about a couple of movies, which let's just say we've got a few things to talk about when it comes to them, all right? So we're going to be giving you a review of Malignant. We definitely got to throw that one in there, Devout. And hopefully we've got time for Kate. I'm not sure if we're going to have time for the hidden gems this week because we've got some kind of trailers that we want to speak about and obviously some movie news. So we're going to try and fit as much as we can do in the next kind of like 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoy the show and we hope you stick with us. And remember, get in touch with us, Deval, because people can win a voucher code, right?
Yeah, you can win just like we do every week. This is one of the best prizes you can get. I mean, we're all about movies and streaming, and what we're doing, we're giving you a free prize to go to the cinema and also to
Yep.
stream. Double whammy. All you got to do is write us a quick review on any platform you like. Let us know about it. Message us on Instagram and say, hey, I've written my review. Send me my cinema code and my streaming code, which will be actually for the cinema in the UK. We offer View, Cinema, and also Odeon. And for the streaming, we offer Rakuten. So you get all of that just for a review. Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle, all right? Okay. So, and listen, also what we love doing on this podcast is shouting out the people who kind of like they interact with us, and we kind of when we put stuff out on Instagram, on social media and stuff, we love this kind of like back and forth
Yeah.
going on. And so Deval's going to go through some of the shout outs and some really great ones there. So Deval, who we shouting out this week?
Yeah, we're shouting out this week Ram Kel Ellie. Ram Kel Ellie. And that was for the response to The Matrix. So The Matrix Resurrections is coming out soon in December.
Resurrections.
And I think some people are like, another Matrix? And unfortunately, yes, there we are. Next few shout outs go to Zakroff. He tried to warn me about a film we're going to review later. And we'll talk about that, Malignant, later.
Oh man.
Aside from that, very own Zakroff also, I mean, every week letting us know about hidden gems and different movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He told us his top five Marvel. This was in response to I think Shang-Chi that he saw again recently. He's top three anyway. I'll tell you what his top three is, not top five. Top three. He says Shang-Chi actually made it in. So Shang-Chi, then you got Avengers Infinity War, and then number one is Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier. So his
Oh.
top three is a tight. Shang-Chi made it in there. I was quite surprised actually.
Wow. Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. What's your top five? Tell us what is your Marvel top five. Let us know.
That'd be a great one to find out.
Exactly. And K James HL, shout out to you. Obviously, he's been on the show before, and we'll see him again on the show.
Yeah.
Dr. Chook, or Dr. Chook on Instagram. He said that he reckons that the Hawkeye trailer, which we'll talk about later, he reckons that Hawkeye might get killed off by Yelena Belova,
Oh.
perhaps, and then the new Kate Bishop will take over.
The new
We'll have
blood.
to wait and see. AL Media, if you're watching this right now on AL on the five channels, sorry, the five Fs, that's on Telegram. So you go on Telegram, check out the five Fs channel, and you can see this show as well as other Fs on there. So we cover films, and there's other, stuff you can do on there. So check them out. And then Cloud Watch Uno for the eclectic music. Shout out to you. So yeah, there we go. Shout
Brilliant.
outs.
Exactly. Great shout outs there. And remember, you could be a shout out on the show as well. Just get in touch with us. Let us know what you're watching. And you'll be on our show next week. All right. Okay. Let's get into movie news now. Deval, we've already spoken about you mentioned last week, didn't you, about the whole kind of, the lineup, what we're going to be seeing from Marvel. So, and this goes into 2024. So let's speak about Marvel Phase 5. What's going on? What are we going to be seeing?
Yeah, from what I understand, I mean, Kevin Feige and, Victoria Alonso and all them executive producers at Marvel, they like to keep tight-lipped, and I respect that. Sometimes I don't want to know until I need to know. So Phase 5, they're talking about possibly Fantastic Four popping up, Blade being a part of that, also another Avengers movie being a part of that. I mean, these are big titles, and you know what? I reckon whatever they tell us, there's some things they're not telling us, and they won't tell us because it will
Yeah.
influence how we watch the movies that we're going to be watching in the next, couple of years. So I think things could happen which could really evolve how Marvel sort of pans out and the characters that they're going to introduce. Now they've got the rights to everything. It's all on the table. It's all on the table. So, I mean, let us know, what do you think? Who should be involved in Phase Five? Which character? Which franchise? Just let us know.
I
Um,
mean, I think for me, Deval, it's the two big kind of like big properties or the big things are how are they going to deal with mutants, and how are they going to bring in Fantastic Four? Those are kind of like
yeah,
big questions, and what is going to happen with Spider-Man beyond this third Spider-Man movie, because Tom Holland, obviously, remember there's a kind of like whole contract negotiation
yeah,
situation that happens. I think he's signed on obviously to do this one that's coming in December and appear in one more movie, I
yeah.
think, or maybe in an Avenger movie. So are they going to recast again?
I mean, he's a young lad. I think he's like 24 years old or something like that. But
Yeah,
he can play a
but how
younger
much is he
character.
going to want to keep playing Spider-Man?
For as long as the checks keep coming in, he's going to play Spider Man as long as he can. And
Yeah.
just to answer your question on what happens next, I mean, just to link on to the next piece of news, we've heard that the Venom, because recently in London, I'm not sure if you guys know, but recently in London, the Venom Let There Be Carnage movie was premiered or shown to a select few test screening and so on. And from what I understand, the post credit scene in that is supposed to just blow your mind. It's supposed to be crazy.
So what could this be? Is this Spider-Man level? Like,
Yeah,
is this
I've,
Spider-Man going to be
I've
in there?
heard. I've heard. Okay, so shall I just say what I've heard?
Just
Shall I
say it,
say?
man.
If you don't
Say
want to
it.
hear it, just mute or skip forward for the next
Mute,
minute. I'll
pause, or
only make
whatever.
it a
Fast
minute.
forward.
So what's supposed to happen? From what I understand, is that at the end of the Venom 2 movie, you get to see Eddie Brock, who is Tom Hardy. He's at the end of the movie, and he's, I don't know where he is, but you see a circle, like a transportation kind of, Doctor Strange kind of circle. You see something like that
Yeah.
happen, and then he goes through it, and he sees Spider Man there, and he's like, "Damn, I hate that kid," or "I hate that guy," or something like that. It's something mad where he comes into the Spider Verse, into the MCU of it
Holy
all.
shit.
So yeah, that's what I understand that happens. I'm not sure if it does, but we'll see. And also, Tom Hardy was seen in a picture with a hat, which is given to cast and crew of Spider Man No Way Home. So he might have
Oh.
been on set. So we'll see.
Oh my gosh, man.
Mm.
Listen, you guys are lucky. Seriously, you guys are lucky sons of guns, man, because Carnage, so Venom Part 2 is coming out in October, but it's not coming out here until November.
Ah, 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 ah.
It's
And
crazy.
also
That's
Dune.
so
Dune.
stupid.
Dune is out now in Holland and other countries, and in
What?
Australia it comes out in December. 2 months later
This is
in
this is
Australia.
what I this is just slow, man. Just slow. The
Crazy.
people over here are just slow. Seriously, it's just too slow over here. So I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna have to take drastic measures, man. I don't know. I need to see this stuff, man, because we can't be sitting on reviews, man, like June and like Venom and things like that, man. And like what do you call it? James Bond.
Yeah.
I mean, when's that? I think that's like
Here it's
this
out on the
year, isn't it?
30th of September in the UK.
Here, but I think it's October, November time over
Oh,
here as well.
oh, oh,
Um,
oh.
yeah, man, crazy, 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 exactly. All right, listen, let's move on to some other Marvel news. Now, check this out. We are, Deval and I, and a lot of our listeners, huge fans of what Netflix did with Daredevil.
Mm,
So Netflix, they kind of had the rights to certain Marvel characters, and we think Daredevil was brilliant. We think the Punisher was great. Jessica Jones was like up there as well, and Luke Cage, brilliant and everything. And there is a tweet out there. If you go online and you just type in Vincent D'Onofrio and you type in Hawkeye, there's a rumor going around, Deval, that Kingpin could be in Hawkeye. Now, what makes me say that and what makes people say that is because Vincent D'Onofrio, he was on his tweet. It was on Twitter or on his Instagram. He said This is what he said. He said, "The king returns in Hawkeye."
Is it? Okay.
That's what he tweeted. The
Wow.
king returns in Hawkeye. Now, what king is he referring to?
That's a statement, you
King
know?
Kingpin?
That's a statement.
So could we
Yeah.
see Kingpin as this kind of little inroad to those Netflix shows, like, being a part of the Disney Plus? A part of me is like, oh, this is going to be great, but a part of me is a bit sad because, man, the with Daredevil, they were kind of like R-rated almost, like
Yeah.
they were like blood
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
guts,
Yeah.
and we probably won't get that if we see them on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I don't think so. Marvel want it to be kid friendly and all that. You know, they can't be having Punisher letting off shots and blowing people up and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I mean, Kingpin, man, this guy's a beast. This guy will do some damage
Remember
to
when he
you,
killed that
and they
guy
probably,
in the door, like in the car, and he was
yeah,
wedging his head
just
in the door. It all just like, all blood came out. Oh
It
man.
just, I know, man. Crazy. This guy's a nutter. This guy
Mm.
is a nutter, right? So maybe I don't know. You know what? There's this kind of rumor going around. We might see kind of like a version of Kingpin on there, and whether or not it's a watered down version of Kingpin, maybe we might get that. So fingers crossed. And when do we have to wait for Hawkeye? That's like
November
24th of November,
24th.
right?
That's right. Yeah. So not too long. Probably for you,
Not
January
too long.
24th. No, I'm joking.
Man, seriously, don't jinx it. Listen, Devout, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Luther?
Yes, I am a fan of Luther. Yeah, with
I
his
gotta
long
say,
old
man,
coat,
I have not
old
seen it.
Volvo, and he walks around like that all the time. You ain't seen Luther? Idris Elba.
I have not seen
Oh
Luther.
shit, it's good. It's all right. Good.
I have not seen Luther. And people have been talking about this show for years and
Yeah.
years and years. Well, check this out. You know how Netflix, they're really good at kind of reviving shows?
Yeah.
Apparently, there's going to be a Luther movie
Mm,
out on Netflix.
okay, a Luther movie with Idris Elba. Yeah.
That is, I mean, Idris Elba is going to be back. So he's going to be playing DCI John Luther for
Mm,
people who don't know. And it's going to be starring none other than Gollum, aka Andy Serkis,
okay.
and Cynthia Erivo.
Oh.
So Netflix, they announced the news on Tuesday, revealing the first batch of cast members, obviously Elba, Serkis, and Erivo. And yeah, it's going to basically there's going to be kind of like newcomers as well,
Mm.
and yeah, it's going to be interesting for obviously people who are you know Netflix subscribers, but people who love Luther, right? This is going to be good for them.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. I know Idris Elba said that he didn't want to do Luther because it was a series and it was a lot of time and stuff. So maybe the fact that it is now just a standalone movie, maybe that's more appealing to him, which is why maybe it's going ahead. So yeah, it should be good. I like
Should be good, right? It should be
Alice
good.
in Luther is really good. She's a character who started
Yeah.
off being an enemy, but then she started to work with Luther. She's like a really intelligent sort of serial killer. Just yeah, she's mad, but she's a really good character in this. So let's see if she returns.
Let's see if she returns. Another British actor who's going to be lending the acting skills to Netflix is Andrew Lincoln. So check this out.
Mhm.
He's landed a TV show
Okay.
for Netflix, directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Del
And it's an
Toro.
anthology horror
Yeah.
series. Yeah, man. Check this out. It's an anthology horror series which is called Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
Hmm. Gosh. Ugh,
It's like,
ugh.
oh my gosh, like check the titles of this shit,
Cabinet
man.
of
Seriously. So
Curiosities.
it's like, oh my god, how like dramatic can you get? So check this out. So it says, so it's from the macabre to the magical, gothic to grotesque, classically creepy. It's eight episodes of this kind of like anthology series, and they're going to be sinister, they're going to be creepy, they're going to be dark,
Mm.
and we haven't seen Andrew Lincoln since he left
Yeah,
The Walking
yeah,
Dead.
yeah, yeah. I heard that he's meant to be doing some well, not standalone, but movies that are linked to The Walking Dead. But
Bro,
I don't know.
we've how long have we heard that for?
They should just leave. The Walking Dead needs to just stop and be dead. Just not stop walking
Yeah.
around dead. just chill.
Just stop walking.
Yeah.
Just take a seat. Just take a seat, man. Just like seriously. All right, let's speak about some stuff that it has finished wrapped. So you might be interested in these ones. I mean, I am. So the first of this three, Knives Out 2, that's wrapped filming. So Deval,
Good.
remember we were kind of like big fans of Knives Out. Daniel Craig starring as this kind of this gumshoe, well not gumshoe, but this kind of detective.
Yeah.
Well, no, detective. What was he again? He's just a private eye or something.
Some sort of private kind of detective. I don't know, like inspector, proper old school Poirot sort of, kind
Yeah,
of inspector. Yeah.
yeah. So that's kind of wrapped. The other one, which I'm super excited about, Deval, is the Boys season 3. That's wrapped. Come on, man, we're huge fans of the Boys. We
Oh,
can't wait to see that.
that's going to be good.
That's going to be
That's going
brilliant.
to be good.
That's
We've
going to
got
be really, really
Jensen
great.
Ackles is going to be in it as some sort of like Captain
Yep.
American kind of person. There's meant to be a
Yeah.
mad scene in it where there's a massive orgy straight from the comics.
Yep.
Crazy,
How are they going
crazy
to film
scene.
that, man? It's going to be mad. It's going to be crazy. Pushing the boundaries, I
Yeah.
reckon. Is what they are. And also another movie that's wrapped up. Maybe this was under the radar. Maybe you knew about it. Maybe you didn't. But the new Predator movie has wrapped.
Predator.
And the new Predator movie, Devour. This is crazy, isn't it?
It's-
So exactly, it's just like we're going to be. And if you go online, you'll see the kind of
oh my
first look on
god.
this. And I
Oh.
just want to kind of get the name if I can remember. Oh, it's called Skulls. That's what it's called,
Skulls. That's what they
Skulls.
collect, don't they? They collect skulls.
This is it, man.
That's gonna be good.
Exactly. So when kind of more information on that comes out, definitely we're going to be all over it because we love a good Predator
Yeah.
movie. And let's finish up on our movie news because there's a lot of other stuff that we want to get through. So Devout, tell us about this next piece that you've put on there. Russia beats America in what?
Yeah, space race, man. Back in the day, the Russians beat America to the first person in
Yep.
space, not on the
Yep.
moon. Obviously, Americans say that they went to the moon first. Some people think it's a hoax, but yeah, the Russians did beat America into space first. I don't know what the guy's name was called. Olga,
Yuri?
Yuri.
Yuri Gagarin?
That's the one. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. So no, a while ago, I think we reported it actually. Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible. Looks like
Yes.
this mission for him was very impossible because he wanted to be among the first person to film in space, actually in space as part of a movie. Not happening anymore. The Russians have beat them to it.
Oh my gosh.
they've left to go to the space station. So they're right now going up to the space station to start filming a film in space. So yeah, that's it. So it
Mad.
looks like Tom Cruise has got to try do something else, but
Oh
he's
my
gutted, because he
gosh.
wanted to be the first person
Yeah.
to do that. Not going to happen, mate. Unlucky.
Not going to happen, Tom. Tom, sorry about that. You're just going to have to wait for Mission Impossible. Well, actually, what's he doing? Going to be doing after Mission Impossible,
Eight,
man?
well, 7 and 8's getting filmed back to back. So yeah.
And we're still waiting for Top Gun as
Oh,
well.
I forgot about that. Is that still coming out?
It's not on my
More like
radar, man.
Bottom
It's
Gun right
not
now,
like
isn't it? Ain't Top Gun no more, mate.
exactly. It's not on our radar. It's
Yeah,
not kind of a movie which we're like, oh my gosh, we definitely want to
yeah,
see this. But yeah, that's kind of like still to come out. All right, listen, look, that's your movie news, folks. Remember, keep it locked with us because every week we bring you fresh news.
yeah,
And now on to new on streaming. So, Deval, let's speak about the latest episode of What If.
yeah.
And again, they deliver another bombastic episode, and it's great. And the one thing that I love about the kind of the What If is the tone of them are kind of like this. They're different, they're dark, and this one they
Yeah.
go dark as well. But just explain what this one is. So this is if what if Tony Stark didn't build his Iron Man suit, right?
Yeah, this one's called "What If Killmonger Rescued Tony Stark," and it starts off the same way as it does in Iron Man 1. Tony Stark is in the desert selling these bombs, and he gets ambushed and gets taken by the Ten Rings. He goes into a cave, build Iron Man, and then that's what we get. In this case, Killmonger comes and rescues him, and Killmonger becomes his closest ally. But Killmonger he's so clever, so insidious. The whole thing's a chess game. He rescued. I think he actually caused the. I don't know if he actually caused the bomb in the first place, but he rescues Iron Man, and he becomes Iron Man's sort of general. and then he slowly infiltrates into Stark Industries. He uses that to then go to sort of forge a deal with Wakanda, and steals all the vibranium. Basically, long story short, Killmonger, like we saw in the movies, his plan that he was going to do in the movies, in which he wanted to sort of he wanted his people, because he felt like his people, all African people across the
Mm.
world, had sort of let them down, and slavery happened, and where was Wakanda and all that kind of stuff.
Where was Wakanda?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he wants to take back. He's like, nope, that's it. It's war. War's still happening. He wants to, by force, he wants to take over, and he's just literally using all his means that he can to take over one thing at a time. Stark Industries, America, Wakanda, and literally his plan is so good, if I can
Spot
say.
on, man.
Yeah, he's so good at what he does.
Exactly.
T'Challa gets killed, and
Yep.
it's actually really sad, because obviously we know he's died in real life, and we see him
Yeah.
in this episode, and he's talking from the afterlife. Iron Man is killed. It's like he
There's the blood count, man.
yeah.
Seriously,
You know,
the body
I
count.
really
This
like
guy,
this episode. Even
Rhodey.
though it's a sad
Yeah,
thing,
it's good.
I like it. It's a good episode.
I know. It was really good. And then there's a great little bit at the end where Shuri,
Yes.
she kind of she's not on board with a lot of the stuff, and she's kind of like, hey, something's not right. And then she kind of finds out that Killmonger, like, he did some bad shit. And then you know what was really good about that, because then it kind of sets up this thing for maybe in the MCU, kind of like, in the movies, the live action movies, where she could kind of like be the next,
Yeah.
Black
Yeah.
Panther,
Yeah.
where then she kind
Yeah.
of, I don't know, it just kind of sets, I kind of felt like as if this is kind of like a natural progression for that character, where she kind of gets more involved, and like, but yeah, man, I thought, Killmonger, the same kind of, the way he acts in Black Panther is how his character acts in this as well,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
ruthless.
yeah. Very ruthless. It doesn't matter if you're family or what. He'll kill you. He'll kill you.
He will go for the
Well, his name is
jugular,
Killmonger, so
man.
I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, exactly. There's a great little bit in there where he goes, when they put the vibranium in his body, and then he kind of goes into that
Yes,
afterlife,
yes,
and he
yes,
sees
yes,
the Black
yes, yes,
Panthers on the
yes,
trees,
yes.
and he goes,
Yeah.
And then T'Challa's like, "Was it worth it, cousin?"
Mm.
Oh man,
Put it back
that
in
was
the
deep.
worth it. Was it worth it? Was it worth it?
You work it.
I never know the
Let me
words
see,
now.
man.
It's got the man,
Yeah, exactly.
man.
Oh shit. So yeah, so go check it out.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think that's it, episode 6 on episode number 7. We haven't got too many left, so enjoy them. And the only other thing that I want to mention is out on Netflix is Into the Night. Now,
What's
Devout, I
that?
remember I spoke about this. I spoke about this before, man. So basically, it's this crazy show where there's a worldwide, like, there's a kind of like end of the world scenario happening around the world. So um, something crazy is happening in the world where people are dying, right? So this plane is taking off from Belgium, and it is taking off at night. And as long as it stays ahead of the sun, so as long as the sun
Oh, okay,
doesn't
okay, okay,
rise,
okay, okay.
they will be saved. So all the people on board, and you've
Shit.
got all these different characters,
Shit.
and it kind of ended off on this cliffhanger where they end up in England, if I can remember correctly. So the second season has just started, and to be honest with you, I thought, nah, it won't get a second season, but lo and behold, they've kind of given us a second season. So I'm going to be watching that.
Mm,
Um, I think you might enjoy it because it's kind of like sci-fi. It's kind of like
mm.
this kind of, it's a thriller.
Race against
It's
time and all that kind of shit.
exactly. So
Time.
it plays on
Oof.
these kind of tropes that,
Yeah.
the different characters, like I think there's like a Muslim character on board,
Okay.
and you think that he's going to be kind of like the one
Bomber
who's
or
going to be
something. Yeah,
maybe
the one that's doing all the.
problematic.
Okay.
Exactly.
All the
You've got all of
stereotypes.
that shit in there, stereotypical shit going on in there as well. So it's interesting, and it's just kind of a bit of fun. And
Oh,
I watched this in English. It's so much fun
what language?
because
What
I think
language is it? Well,
I think it's French.
okay,
I think
okay,
it's
okay,
French,
okay.
but you put it in English, right? It is just
Is it
brilliant, man.
like
It's just like classic.
is it like Money Heist? As in like the
Yeah,
yeah,
Money
okay.
Eyes level, man. Yeah, it's good. So check it out. It's called Into the Night.
Okay.
We think you'll definitely like it. Now let's speak about trailers. Deval. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
man. Yeah,
Go
yeah.
on. Let's speak about this
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
So Hawkeye, here it is, November 24th. Like we said, Hawkeye is coming on Disney Plus. This is what the fourth. Hold on, One Division, Hawkeye, Winter Soldier, and thingy. What else do we
Yeah.
have? I'm missing something, aren't I?
Loki.
Loki. Yep. What if? And now we're gonna have Hawkeye. So yeah, this looks like a Christmas movie from what the way they sort of build it. It looks like Hawkeye. This is the events after Endgame and so on. He's trying to get back with his family because Hawkeye hasn't been much of a family man. Got three
Nope.
kids, wife and three kids. He's not really hitting the target with spending time with them, but he's off doing bits and bobs around the world, saving the world. And it looks like he wants to get home. Basically, he wants to get home to his family, but you can
Yeah.
see shit happens. His past catches up with him. There's a younger version of him, a female version as well, by Kate Bishop, who's not related to him, but she looks up to him and wants to be the next version of him, and is going around wearing his clothes, beating enemies and stuff like that. And he feels responsible because she's come to him and looks like she wants guidance, and she wants to be mentored by him, but obviously he wants to get home to his family. So it looks like the sort of film that's going to be, they're kind of billing it like Die Hard, where he wants to get
Die
home
Hard.
at
Yeah.
Christmas, stuff like that. And he's just trying to get back and he can't. So I don't know, the tone looks a bit, it looks like it's not going to be 100% serious, but it's going to be quite comedic and
Yeah.
sort of family orientated at the same time. No superpowers in this, as we know. Hawkeye just shoots arrows. But either way, it's going to be good, hopefully. I hope it should be good. So,
It should be good. Yeah,
yeah.
we'll see. And that because it's starting on the 24th of November, and obviously with Disney Plus they release each episode weekly.
Yeah.
That will probably take us closer all the way up to
Yeah,
Christmas, won't
yes,
it, or
that's
something?
right. Yeah, yeah, and we're gonna get the Book of Boba Fett as well, Christmas time. Marvel wise, I think the next one after this, I think, don't quote me, but I think it could be Miss Marvel.
Oh,
I
okay,
think it
right. I
could be Miss
gotcha.
Marvel. Yeah, Kamala
So
Khan.
then, and also this will lead us up to Spider-Man,
Yes.
but it won't be
Ooh,
connected to Spider-Man.
ooh, 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 ooh. That's a good lead up. It's a good lead up.
Great.
Ooh.
It's going to be great, guys. So listen, another Disney Plus show, another Marvel show. Check out the trailer if you haven't seen it. Now, Deval, on to you.
Who, me? Oh, thank you.
You.
Oh,
You.
thank you. It's all about me. Yeah. Oh, you mean you,
Yeah,
as in like
you.
the TV show you? Oh,
Yes. Now, you've mentioned this before.
yeah.
You've said this is kind of like a really interesting show about this stalker. I'll be honest with you, it was on my watch list. I didn't get a chance to kind of fit it in somewhere, but there's a new season. Tell us about this.
Yeah, You season 3. So this was supposed to happen, I think, last year, but the pandemic hit, so it's been delayed. But You is it's a show on Netflix, and it's about a guy who is really compulsive. He's obsessive. At the same time, he's good looking. He's charming. But when he latches onto you, when he
Oh,
likes you,
gosh.
it's over. He's gonna follow you. He's gonna infiltrate your emails. He's gonna stalk you, and he's got to have you by any means necessary. He'll lock you up.
Damn.
He'll be feeding you. He will telling you how to dress. He is not. He's evil, but at the same time, he does integrate in society in such a way that you think he's a good guy, but he's not. Season 1, he wanted this girl and he got her, and it all turned crazy. Season 2, similar thing happened, and then the flip side of it was that there was another girl from his past that was like him. So now season
Oh,
3 is
damn.
them two are getting together, and I think they're gonna have a baby, would have had a baby. So they're both as bad as each other,
Craziness.
basically. Yeah. So the girl version of him, they are now getting together, and it's about how they
So what?
can.
They stalk each other.
Well, I don't know who, because now they're going to have each other. They're going to have to find someone else to stalk. But at the same time,
Oh
it's
my
like they're trying to
gosh.
be a couple and raise this kid, but they both are evil and they both kill people. Yeah, they've killed people. They have killed people. It's not
Oh.
just about thing about stalking and whatever. They've killed people, buried them, all kinds of shit. It's like Dexter, but like a college sweetheart kind of Dexter.
It sounds good,
Mad.
man. It sounds great.
Yeah, it's good. It's decent. I'll give it a go if you guys. I mean, this is out in October. I think mid-October. It's out on Netflix. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, listen, go check that out. Also, if you're looking for a new something scary to watch, there's going to be a new Paranormal Activity movie. Now,
Mm.
Deval, how many are in this franchise? How many paranormal movies are we up
Well,
to?
one of them is made our anniversary corner, but yeah, this will be the
Mm.
seventh. So Paranormal Activity, Next of
Wow.
Kin. just by the title, I can imagine that this is probably going to be a story where the next of kin, so someone related to someone we've seen
Someone's
before,
kid.
is being haunted. And just a bit of trivia: Paranormal Activity Part One, I believe it's either number one or number two for the. I think it's actually number one. I think it's the highest grossing movie of all time when you relate it
Is
to
it?
the amount that it cost. It cost such. The
Ah,
first one that came out in 2008, I think, it cost so little to make. The amount they grossed is crazy. I think it's either that or Blair
crazy.
Witch Project, one of them. But it
Yeah.
is crazy. So that alone has spawned all these movies. But yeah, check that out. Next of Kin. This is out
Yeah, man.
in
Check it
time
out.
for Halloween this year.
Yeah, and obviously we're going to be watching. Well, next month we'll be watching Halloween Kills. So yeah, it'd be nice, it'd be a nice kind of double bill type of thing. All right, this last one that I want to speak about. I just saw this trailer just recently, and this is a movie that's coming out to Netflix next week.
Okay.
This stars Jake Gyllenhaal. It's called The Guilty, and he plays, those when you call up kind
Oh
of
yes,
in America
I've
911,
seen this one.
and in England it's 999.
Yeah.
You call 999 emergency number. And you say, "Hey, I've got an emergency," and they send out the police, the fire department, or whatever. So he plays one of those people, and he gets a phone call from someone saying, "Hey, listen, look." The person in my house is trying to kill me. So he has this kind of conversation. He's like, "Is the person there? Is the person right there? Just try and tell me in code, and let's speak in code, and let's try and kind of like get through this." And then he's on the other line trying to send the police
Mm,
officers to the house.
mm,
Something weird goes on where you know it doesn't go to plan, and there's kind of like an emergency, and there's kind of like a casualty. But you know what, man? It looks interesting. It
yeah.
looks kind of like one of these thrillers. And it's always interesting to see kind of like Jake Gyllenhaal making these types of movies. And it's also directed by Antoine
Fuqua.
Fuqua.
Yes. This one, I think there's a twist in this from what I've seen as well
Yeah,
towards the end,
yeah,
which I'm not sure what it's going to be, but it looks like an interesting film actually. It does look good. Yeah.
exactly. So if you're fans of Training Day, and if you're
Mm.
fans of, he did another. What did he do just recently? He did Equalizer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah.
If you like his style of movies, go check it out. It's called The Guilty, and it's coming out next week on Netflix. And somewhere along the line, we'll probably review it.
Yeah.
So maybe even next week's show. So go check it out and let us know what you think. All right, now Deval kind of alluded to this anniversary corner. Paranormal Activity 3 from
Mm.
10 years ago, 2011.
Yeah.
And so Deval, the first one, man, scared the shit out of
Yeah,
me.
the first one was probably the best one for me. It was low key, low budget, came out of nowhere, all found footage kind of style, like CCTV. It was really scary. It had some real scary scenes in it. To this day, I
Yeah,
still think about it sometimes, and I would hate to
I
be in that
know.
position. But this one was part three, which was one of the last kind of good ones. The family that were, I think, linked to the first one were kind of linked to this one, and who wants paranormal activity? You just don't want it. You want normal
Nah.
activity, you know. But you don't want anything else But yeah, this film here, 10 years, and do you know what? If you watched it now, I think it will still give you the chills. Halloween's coming
Yeah.
up, so you just know the horror films are going to be piling up, and we're going to be seeing a lot more horror films. We're going to talk about one later in a second, but yeah, Paranormal Activity 3, 2011. You go check this one out. Again, this one had a bit more of a budget because the first and
Yeah.
second one was so popular, but it still kept the same foundation, the same format of found footage, which I think all the Paranormal Activities have done to some degree.
The- And just the kind of like, you're talking about budgets and stuff. The budget for the part three was 5 million.
Mm,
It took over 200 million at the box
yeah,
office.
yeah. I think the budget for the first
It's
one,
crazy.
first Paranormal Activity film was 30 grand or something really silly, like something really really silly, and it took 100 and something million. That's why the ratio is so big. But yeah, it's crazy, man.
All right, another thing that's really silly, which we're going to speak about. We're going to get into our movie reviews now, and it leads us nicely into the one of the movies that we're going to speak about. So we're going to try and devote as much as we can to this because Oh my gosh, silly isn't even a word that comes to mind.
Mm,
Like, oh my god. So the movie is Malignant. So Deval and I, we watched this movie, right? And I was really surprised, Deval, because in a sense, right, you know, James Wan,
yeah,
he's such an interesting film director. He's kind of been behind Aquaman. He's been behind the Conjuring
yeah,
universe. He's had his hand in the Fast and the Furious. So he is a film director who is very, very talented.
yeah,
And what I think is he came up with this idea and thought, oh, you know what? This could be another franchise that
yeah,
maybe we could use, or just another kind of story that we can scare the shit out of people. So I went into this thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be scary. It's James Wan. I
hmm,
like The Conjuring. It's got Annabelle Wallis in this. She was in The Conjuring as well. And yeah, the ingredients are really, really great. And this is like all I'm gonna say is this is got to be the funniest, the stupidest, like oh my movie that I've seen in such a while. There are so many things, and Deval, we've had this conversation on this podcast before. They, we should do a podcast like the stupid things that white people do in horror movies. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like you cannot flipping
oh
believe
my
the
gosh.
amount of stupid shit that people do in this movie. It's just like, why would you go there? As soon as the lights turn off, as soon as the lights
Oh
turn off in a
man.
place like in a you know, underground type of place, I'm running, man.
Exactly. You run
I'm
to the
getting
light.
out
You
of
don't
there.
run upstairs or run somewhere where you got no escape. Right? It's just silly. There's so many silly things are done in this film. And you set it up right. James Wan is he's a horror man. Saw,
Yeah.
Saw's where he started
S-
out. Saw,
So,
you know. But this film here, and you know what? Zakharov warned me. He asked me, have I seen this yet? I said no, and he didn't want to spoil it fully, but he said to me, just don't expect too much. This
yeah,
film, the trailer looks really good, by the way. When I first saw the
exactly.
trailer, the title, I thought, yeah, man, this is going to be good. This film, I didn't know if it was a comedy or not. And the music sometimes was like, woo, kind of like, they kind of tried to do old school music, but it didn't really fit the tone because what you're seeing on screen, this was directed and written by James Wan. So he's got his
What's he
touch all
doing?
over this. I don't know.
He's on
He
drugs.
wasn't well. I don't know, man. But yeah, it's got
Seriously.
it's got not bad reviews, on IMDb. It's six
It's
point three,
6.3.
which for a horror film is actually quite decent. But this for me, I'll give it a 4 out of 10. I mean, the film is littered with just even I don't like to cuss actors too much because being an actor is not easy, yeah. But some of the
Yeah,
acting in
it's
this
hard.
film, I was like, nah,
It
this
was
ain't.
laughable.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The police officer and his partner, they just didn't. I don't know who put these two together. Like it's just it was, and then the main character, she just seemed so
So off.
yeah,
Like I
and her
literally,
sister.
I thought, oh my gosh, it was laughable. It was so B movie. Like the movie starts up in 1993, right? So there's this doctor, so this British doctor. She's talking into the camera, and I was just like, okay, I'm getting B movie vibes over
Yeah,
here. And she's talking about this thing and like this operation that they're going to do, and the way they filmed this, it was just like so B movie. And I was like, you know what? A lot of Hollywood movies right now, they're going through this phase where they're going for that B movie look,
yeah,
and it was just such a joke, man.
yeah,
I was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe
crazy.
this is the shit that they're making.
I'll quickly just reel
Uh,
through the plot just in case people are
do it.
lost. Just real quick. I'm going to spend too much time on this, but the plot is the main character. When she was young, she had some issues at home or something like that, and and basically, uh, it turns out that she's got some sort of twin, conjoined twin or something like that, and this conjoined twin was subdued in herself somehow in her mind. So basically, this whole malignant thing is that now she's older, she's like 30 or something like that. It's her abusive husband hits her head against the wall, and it awakens this evil inside her that her twin has been in her brain all this time. But it's almost like a mirror image or sort of I don't know reverse image of her. So this evil twin kind of controls her body, but she doesn't know what's going on. When her evil twin controls her body, she gets an out of body experience and she sees what's happening
Yeah.
and she thinks she's seeing it from some sort of like dream states, but really she's there. But she wakes up and thinks, oh my gosh, I just saw something evil happen, but really she was there. But her evil twin like comes out behind her head. It just looks silly. But even as I'm explaining it, I'm getting lost myself. It's like the whole film is just this film. Oh my
It's the
god.
biggest joke. It's the
It's just
biggest
not
joke
good.
ever, man.
It's just not good.
It's just it's
It's
so
not good.
poor. It's really bad. There's a bit in there where I was like, all right. There was a moment where I thought, okay, they got the creepy house, they got
Yeah.
really creepy vibe going on there, and I was like, is it supernatural? Is it kind of
Yeah.
like and if they when they were playing on those motives, I was like, okay, yeah, there's kind of like something there. But then when you've come to find out what this thing is and like what's going on, it's like the ring. Do you remember the movie The Ring, where
Yeah.
the thing comes out of the
Yeah.
TV and
Yeah.
the hair? It was like they're trying to go for that. They're trying to go for Voldemort. They were doing some sort of Voldemort thing. If you've seen
Oh,
Harry Potter
mate.
and you see the kind of the Voldemort in the first one, oh my
When you
gosh,
say
it's so
supernatural also, because when this thing overtakes her mind, somehow it gives her superpowers. She can jump. She's like a winter soldier, super soldier. She can do all kinds of shit
no.
somehow that she can't do normally. It's just a
Oh
madness. This
my.
film, if you can not see it, don't see it. That's all I can say. Don't waste your time on it. Don't waste your time on it.
Don't waste your time.
Yeah,
Seriously. And you know what? I had such a laugh watching it because it's just laugh out loud,
yeah,
like silly. That's all it
yeah,
is. So it's Malignant, definitely for me, man. I'm going 3 out of 10, man.
yeah,
Seriously, it was just actually, you know what? No, 4 out of 10 because of the
yeah,
laugh factor. You know,
yeah,
I had
yeah.
a
I know what
laugh
you mean.
watching
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Exactly. All right, listen. So that was Malignant, and let's spend just a couple of minutes if we can, Deval, doing. Should we do Kate
yeah,
or should
yeah,
we
yeah.
do a hidden gem?
Yeah, let's do Kate. I think Kate's a quickie, isn't it?
Let's do Kate,
Yeah,
right? So Kate is this action flick, this kind of neo-noir action flick that you can find on Netflix, and it stars. I always get a name right. Is it Mary Elizabeth
yeah. Mary Elizabeth
Winstead,
Winstead or Winstead or something.
Winstead?
Yeah,
And where do we know her from?
she's been in Clover 10 Cloverfield Lane. She's been in Scott
Yeah,
Pilgrim
she's
versus
good.
the World. She's been in Fargo TV show. She's actually really good. I like her. I like her.
Yeah,
Mm.
and we saw her in kind of like Birds of Prey,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and she was kicking ass in that.
yeah.
So in this movie, she plays an assassin
Mm.
who's doing jobs in Japan, and her handler is played by Woody
Woody
Harrelson.
Harrelson, your mate. You know he's gonna love this film. Emmanuel is gonna love this film. He loves a bit of Japan,
Japan.
so I know he's gonna love this
Japan.
film.
And you know what, Emmanuel, if you're listening, if you're watching, let us know on their in their whole how Kate her pronunciation of
Oh yeah,
Japanese, was it good? Was it up to standard? That's what
yeah.
we're linguists, you and I. We want to know about this sort of stuff. But listen, so she plays an assassin, and she's doing this job which has been set up by Woody Harrelson, and the look and feel of it is great. Like
Mm,
kind of like a manga
yeah,
cartoon, this neo noir, these neon lights, and there's all this kind of
slick,
uh,
stylish. It's very
exactly
elegant.
very stylish.
Very
The colors
yeah.
really kind of like that.
You know what
And you
film I
know
think
what?
failed with that? That tried to do this Gunpowder Milkshake. That
Gone.
failed. This one
I'm
done it
so
right.
glad. I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad. If those two had beef, right,
Yeah.
man, Kate would just
Ah, come on, mate.
deal with her, man.
Come on.
Kate would deal with it. So basically, she's on this mission, and she's got to take a person out, which she does. But then this has ramifications
Mm,
for her,
mm,
for Kate,
mm.
and I don't want to give basically too much away because I want you to enjoy the movie. But she only has a certain amount of time left on the planet,
Yeah. Age is the
and
state.
one of the exactly there's a line in the movie which I just want to kind of quickly say. She says, "Before I go, people will know I was here."
Mm, gangster.
So she is an assassin. Think John Wick level, right?
Yeah,
John Wick
it
type
reminded me
like
of a
skills.
female John Wick, actually. It did. It did remind me of that. Yeah.
Exactly. So shit hits the fan. She's been double crossed, and there are definitely some cliches in there, and there are kind of okay. As soon as I saw Woody Harrelson, I knew exactly that whole relationship. There was going to be something crazy going on
Yeah,
over there as
yeah,
well
yeah.
because we've seen that before. But comparing it to Gunpowder Milkshake, exactly what Deval said. This is a far more superior movie, Deval.
Yeah, definitely. Much more rounded, better sort of characters. It knows what it is. Gunpowder Milkshake was kind of acted in a certain way that it tried to be something, but the action and so on didn't deliver. So it just fell sort of discombobulated. This one here is really, it just gives us that feel. Even though the scene, the lights, like Kamal said, it just delivers. And the acting from every character, from Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Woody Harrelson, the young girl in the film as well as all the rest of them. You know, just the language diversity of it all. It really fits. But you know what? I actually enjoyed this film.
Yeah,
It's on
yeah,
Netflix right now, so you've got no excuses. It's actually a decent film, and I like the way the
decent.
film keeps to its promise. Amal said that there's a condition that she has, and there's a reason why she's doing what she's doing in the time she does it. The film keeps to its promise. It doesn't,
Yeah,
doesn't do the Hollywood thing of giving us a certain ending. It keeps that promise, so I like that. I respect it.
exactly. I liked it. I was like, no,
Yeah,
don't be kind of like adding another kind of like little plot line to it. Just keep it how it is,
exactly.
and we'll enjoy it. And what did you make of the kind of the action scenes?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, you can see doesn't do all the stunts, but I think she's done quite a few fights and stuff. And
Yeah,
I'm
Com-
convinced because
yeah,
there's a scene as well where she's in the bedroom with the guy from Game of Thrones, Michael
Game of
Hughesman or
Thrones.
something, and she's in
Yeah,
mad good shape. Like she's worked out. You can tell she's been
yeah.
keeping fit. So yeah, I believe
I
her.
was exactly. I was getting serious Ripley vibes, man, with her.
Mm. If they were to do
Aliens.
another Alien, she could definitely be Ripley's like
She
daughter,
was looking
granddaughter.
like Ripley, man. I'm telling you, she was like Ripley.
Mm.
So listen, go check it out. We think you're going to enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy that movie, let us know why. Because yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting just to kind of have a talk. Let us know on Instagram. Let us know wherever on Facebook and whatever. Deval,
Yeah,
we're out
man.
of time, I
Yeah,
think.
we're out of time. Yeah, wicked. Nice one. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll be giving you quite a lot. There's more to come next week as well. As we said, the run up to Halloween, it's going to get a lot more spooky. So, just expect some more horror films and some more news with that. Obviously, more Marvel every week as we do. And
Yeah,
just keep it rolling. So,
that's
yeah.
it. That's it. I'm out of here, man.
All right, peace out.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just pop in the Flixters podcast.